In video 1, we imported 3 Excel files, and I am in the Power Query editor. And I just want to have a look at the setup of the Power Query editor. First of all, on the left-hand side, you can see queries, and you can see in square brackets, there's 3 of them, and there absolutely are 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, as I click on each query, which is in fact a table a table, you can see the data that resides inside of each query or table just by clicking. You can also collapse and expand this queries panel should you struggle for screen space. So that's an option as well. Now, what you may notice also is that the columns in a table or a query have little symbols in front of them. So this ABC is telling me that country and region is in fact a text column. The data in that column is text. Whereas I look at sales 2019 and I can see 1.2, which tells me that the data in this column is in fact a number. And I can even click this button and see that it's a decimal number as opposed to a whole number. And you can see because we've got 0.71 here, or decimal places. So the data type of the column is indicated with a little button. And if you click the little button, you're actually able to change the data type as well, which I really don't want to do. So that's an option. And if I go to customers, I can see I've also got ABCs. Pretty much every column is ABC, so pretty much every column is text, except for postcode. Postcode is ABC123, which basically tells me that it can be anything. It could be alphanumeric, anything can go into that column. And when I go to orders, for example, the first column in here has a date symbol, so the data in that column is considered to be a date, not date and time, but actually a date. So those are the different sorts of data types that are being demonstrated to you with the use of these little buttons here. Now the other thing you've got, so that was the left-hand side and then the center, and on the right-hand side you have what's called the query settings pane. Now, if I click on Sales 2021, for example, there is the name of that particular query or table showing there. And I can change the name of that query or table just by editing this, or I could go into all properties. And if I go into all properties, I could change the name of that query using this as well, and also give it a description. I have another way as well, and that is to go to the Home tab in the ribbon and to use the Properties button, which is yet another way that you can rename a query. So that is definitely a possibility. Now, underneath the name of the query, and you can collapse this and expand this also, the steps. Now, the steps is what Power Query did to the data when it loaded the data into Excel. So for example, let's start with clicking on source. There's 4 steps and source is the first step. If I click on source, it tells me that the first thing it did was bring in the source data. And there were 2 options, as you recall from video 1. You could either bring in sales 2021 or you could bring in sales. And I mentioned that sales was a table, and here you see it in the kind column, and sales 2021 was a sheet. And so you could choose to either bring in the table or bring in the sheet. Now, once it brought in the data, and I think we actually went for sheet in the end, the navigation option, if I click that, the navigation option basically just means it just put the data into various columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, and so on. After it did that, it then promoted the headers, which means it lifted row 1 up, and these became the column headings. And if I click on promoted headers, I can see that's exactly what it did. It lifted the first row up, and these became the column headings. And then when it did that, it looked at some of these columns and it decided what the data type was for some of these columns. Now notice at the moment, country region can basically contain any, it's a variant, it could contain any type of data type. But if I click on change data, it ultimately decided that country region should be a text column. If I go back to promote headers, it did the same for brand, it did the same for month, it made those all text columns. And if I promote headers again, when I look at sales 2019 and 2020, they were also allowing any type of data. And when it changed the data, it turned those into decimal numbers. So it decided what the data types were. Now, the other thing you may observe is as I'm clicking on the steps that it performed, source, you can see up here some code, and I can actually stretch the formula bar, and you can actually see that the source was to bring in an Excel file from this location, and that was the name of the file. And the navigation was basically to organize things into columns. And it was a sheet that we bought in, and it was the sales 2021 sheet. And then promote headers is when it lifted each of those, that first row, into the column headings. And then data type, it decided that country region was text, brand was text, month was a text, sales 2019 was a number, and sales 2020 and 2021 were both also numbers. So those are the steps that were performed, and you can literally just click each step to actually see what happened to your data when it was brought in. Now I can also collapse that formula bar so it doesn't take up so much screen space. So that's a little bit about the Power Query Editor window. All right, and in the earlier video, we looked at the fact that we can get out of the Power Query Editor and return to Excel by clicking the Close and Load button. So I'm just going to hit Close and Load, and I'm back in Excel, where I can see the 3 sheets and tables that are imported. Now, the other thing I want to give a heads up to is the Queries and Connections pane when you're in Excel. Now, let me just close that. Often that is just visible straight away, but if it's not, you can actually bring it up easily enough as well. And that's simply by going to Data in the ribbon and choosing the Queries and Connections button here. Sends it away, brings it up. And it basically tells you how many rows were loaded as you click on each one. And if I rest on it, then it basically tells me the columns that it brought in, and there were a total of 7, when it was last refreshed, and the data source. I can delete that query or even edit it. So that's useful information about the connections. I'm going to close that. The other sort of thing I want to give a heads to is if I return now to the Power Query Editor, just by going Query and going by Edit, I also often need to click this button, Data Source Settings. What happens is sometimes the files that I've imported and create a connection to have moved or been renamed. And to manage that, I click this button. The data source setting lets me see the 3 files I've connected to. And if, say, 2021 sales has been moved from that location, it may not find it, or maybe it's been renamed. And so the Change Source button is very good when I need to re-establish a connection to a particular path and to a particular file. So you can browse and choose the file from its new location. So as far as managing your data source connections, use the use that particular data source settings button. So I'll cancel that, close that, and that's the data source settings button.